She is an award-winning journalist. Her parents are legendary broadcasters in their own right. Katy Tur shares her surprising family story with our Tracy Smith.
If you want to see everything in Los Angeles, you can't beat the view from a helicopter.
I'm Bob Tur. I'm a helicopter pilot and reporter, and have been for the past 20 years here in the City of Angels.
And for much of the 80s and 90s, news chopper pilot Bob Tur and wife Marika Gerard saw it all. On any given story, Bob, who then flew for local CBS stations, would typically be first over the scene, and Marika would lean out the open door with her camera to capture the story, and at times, history. There were the '92 LA riots, the O.J. Simpson car chase.
It would appear that the Bronco will continue north on the 405 freeway.
And more catastrophes than you can count.
Great picture.
They started the Los Angeles News Service.
I'm gonna get you.
And when they started a family, Katy here and later James, they brought him up in the sky.
Growing up, how did you see your mom and dad?
When I was a kid, they were the coolest people in the world. We had a helicopter. I got to go up in a helicopter. I knew how to fly a helicopter. It was a really unique and interesting childhood that nobody else had.
Good to be with you. I'm Katy Tur.
You might know Katy Tur as an MSNBC anchor or as a mother of two, married to our own Tony DeCopel.
How do you get Mexico to pay for that wall?
Only if I'm president.
How does that happen?
And you might recall her locking horns with then presidential candidate Donald Trump on the campaign trail.
Puff the magic dragon.
But in the 1980s, Katy was just a cute little kid with a seat on the wildest ride in town.
Here they are.
In the documentary Whirlybird, you can hear her describing a crash scene.
What do you see?
I see some people in yellow coats. I think they're firefighters.
The images were wild, and I was in a front row seat for it. Literally in the helicopter, feeling the flames on my shins.
You could feel it.
You could feel it.
That close.
Oh, yeah.
And how old were you?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
In her latest book, Rough Draft, from an imprint of Simon & Schuster, a division of CBS's parent company, Katy Tur describes her parents as broadcast pioneers who often put themselves in harm's way. Katy's mom, Marika.
Now that I think about it, I think this is ridiculous that the both of us were up in the air doing this dangerous stuff, and we have 2 kids. You know, what's going to happen if something happens to both of us?
But at the time,
Yeah, it was too much excitement, too much fun. It really was. It was exciting and it was fun.
But the fun was often fleeting. Katy Tur says her dad could be demanding, abusive, and at times violent.
He would come home in these fits of anger. Something would set him off, and he would get so out of control that he would throw his fist through a wall. And it happened often. I mean, we would go to the store, buy plaster them up. I remember him throwing batteries at my mother. The violence was always there. It felt like it was normal, like that was just how a relationship worked. You got angry, you got violent, you yelled and you screamed, and then everything was fine.
But over time, she says, the situation got worse.
And the reason we didn't call the cops was because Bob Tur's name in a police blotter means Bob Tur can't make any more money, and oh my God, we need to buy groceries.
Right. But, you know, that's why it kept going. And that's why it always keeps going.
Yeah.
Because there's always somebody who forgives the person or hides it or puts it under the... and who actually benefits from that? Nobody.
My point is, it's not your fault. It's Dad's fault.
There's a lot of fault to go around.
here we go.
Last week, we took Katy Tur on her first helicopter ride in more than 20 years. Some things, like the feel of a chopper in flight, never change.
How amazing is this? Who gets to grow up like this? Nobody.
And some change has been dramatic. In 2013, her father called her with news that came as a bit of a shock.
My dad said, I am a woman. And I said, what? And my dad said, I'm a woman. I'm transitioning. I'm going to become a woman. And I remember being, at first, puzzled, saying, "You've got to be joking. Are you kidding? What are you talking about?" And my dad was adamant. I'm the wrong person. I'm going to become the right person. Don't you see? This is why I've been so angry. And it was really just, it was a lot.
Now I'm here with my dogs.
Zoe Tur now lives in Northern California.
Katy and I were very close. She really looked up to me, and I failed her. No father wants to fail their daughter.
Let me tell you what she says you did when she was younger. She says you get so angry that you'd punch holes in the wall and that you threw things like batteries at Marika. Is that true?
Throwing batteries? Probably, yeah. Punching walls? There were a couple. I was in the news business, and we were under extraordinary pressure. I could be very intimidating, for sure. And if the kids felt I was intimidating, I apologize. I did the best I could.
Katy Tur says they haven't seen each other in 10 years. And while they have different takes on why they're estranged, it's clear there's still love there.
I'm not hiding anymore. And if it takes an act of public humiliation in front of a camera to make Katy feel better and feel vindicated, so be it. I'm happy to do that. I love her that much.
So I'm also afraid of heights. You can't get me anywhere near an edge, and I will seize up. But I can lean, I can press myself up against the glass and feel totally fine.
Katy Tur knows that looking down can be both scary and exhilarating, and the same is true of looking back.
So it's understandable and commendable facing your past. Why put it out in the public?
It's a really good story. My parents did amazing things. They went from nothing to something big and important. And who wouldn't want to read that story? I want that story to be down. I want my kids to know this. I want them to know my parents the way that I knew my parents, even if they never end up meeting their grandfather. And part of the story is the violence. If I only wrote the good stuff, it would have been a lie. It's a business where you're not supposed to lie. You're supposed to tell the truth, and this is the truth.